over the last few days, Wiaan from South Africa has broken enough records to fill up the entire front page of a newspaper, ladies and gentlemen. But the one that he is trending for is the one that he did not break, or at least decide not to break. Now, obviously, there are so many opinions. We're going to cover a couple of them. But was that a moment of pure brilliance and heroics, or will it go down as a moment of regret? Now, I'm going to try and speak about this from the POV of a South African cricket fan, somebody who's been supporting them for decades now, more than 2 decades. And, we're always in the news for the wrong type of stuff. You think about the New Zealand saga, when we chose the SA20 above going to New Zealand, well, we were pretty much bankrupt. Didn't really have a choice there, even though it didn't look very honorable. Didn't really have a choice. And I'm gonna get to money now, because I think it plays a big part in many things, cricket. And then also, the Heinrich Klaasen, I think, early retirement, Nikki P as well from West Indies. But so yeah, we haven't really always been in the news for the best kind of thing. And here you see this guy celebrating his hero, almost a tribute to his hero, Brian Lara. And funnily enough, Chris Gayle, Universe Boss, my mother's favorite cricketer, by the way, Chris Gayle. And he says this. I don't think he was panicked, guys. I'm going to be honest with you, that he's a young man still, very young. He started very early, actually, for South Africa. He's a young guy. He's fit. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he could have scored 500. It's just my opinion. Let me know if you think he could have scored 500. So I don't think that's the case. I just think this was something different. I think there's something really honorable about what he did. And some South Africans even said to me on Instagram that this is why South Africa always chokes. This is why we never achieve things, because we can't get over the line. It's not about getting over the line here. He would have gotten over the line. I mean, there was no way that they were going to dismiss him. Okay, so I think that's that kind of rhetoric, that kind of opinion about South Africa. I don't think that at this moment, especially at this moment and with this test team, I don't think it's the kind of opinions that we deserve right now. The women have made 2 finals now in a row. The men, they made a final. They made a semi-final before that final. Now another semi-final recently. We just won the World Test Championship final. And here comes a guy and he does something different. And strangely enough, Ben Stokes said as well, well, he's never going to get a chance like that again. Well, Ben, if you keep making pitches like the one you did in Edgbaston, who bloody knows? So, yeah, never. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think he really cares, though. I think for him, it's good enough right now, more than enough. We literally live in a world where greed is God. Nothing is ever good enough. It's good enough for him to know that he is a first choice player. A few years back before Shukri, I don't think he was a first choice. Shukri came in and he had faith, saw a lot of potential in a lot of guys, and Wiaan was one of them. I've seen him improve as a batter. I mean, for goodness sake, he's number 3 right now. You even got legend Sir Alistair Cook saying that in the World Test Championship final, he was like, this guy's not a number 3. And he just swallowed his words a little bit. I have to say, I enjoyed their take. I think stick to cricket, Michael Vaughan, Cook, they actually said, yeah, they wouldn't have done it either, which is interesting to me, because you've got some experts, ex-cricketers saying yes, and then you've got some who are saying no. So I have to admit, I'm quite surprised that, all of them said it. But no, I've always been a fan of Alistair Cook. But my point is, I guess what I'm saying is that I think that for him right now, he's happy, he's content. What is so wrong? We see selfishness in this game so often. I made the example the other day that how often do we see in T20 cricket, right? 2 overs left, okay, team needs a couple of runs. You've got a guy 50 off 20 at the other side, new batter comes in, tries to go for the 6, out. Clown move, selfish move. Next guy comes in, does the same bloody thing. I mean, is there anything more annoying and selfish than that in cricket? So often we see guys taking their time at the crease, taking too much time, batting too slow, thinking more about individual accolades rather than the team. And here was a guy who just put it aside and said, I'm going to appreciate my hero. I don't know. I can't find too much fault. And now the last thing that I will mention is also this. Okay, this was the reward for it. I saw a lot of people make fun of this kind of thing, and I'm going to tell you, I don't think there's any room in cricket for this. Really, Zimbabwe just played against England. They're playing against us now. There's a big tri-series coming up. They're going to play against New Zealand. We have no idea what other cricket boards are going through, how much they are struggling. You guys didn't even know that a few years back, we were almost bankrupt. Do you know how many people don't know that? Who just want to judge us on not going to New Zealand. So for me, there's no room for that in cricket. And I'm going to tell you, $300. If any of you own a Golf GTI in South Africa, that's a month's payment right there. Okay, 1,000, that's like 20,000 Rand in South Africa. I don't think it was such a bad price. I don't know why people are making fun. I mean, yes, let's make fun of Rishabh Pant trying to be Thor, throwing his bat all over the field. Let's make fun of Ben Stokes saying it was a subcontinent pitch, but let's not make fun of other teams and, the financial restraints that some teams have or some cricket nations. I just don't think this is a gentleman's game, and I don't think there's any room for that. But the final thing that I wanted to say is, would he have done it if it was against maybe Australia, England, or New Zealand, probably India? Did I say India? I said England. Australia, 100%. There's no way in hell you were losing that test match just to break that record, because if you get that against Australia, my oh my. Against England, yeah, definitely. There's some beef there. Against India, yeah, I just don't know where that would even happen. So I don't see that happening against India, really, unless there's a really flat pitch in India, but turn will come into play. So yeah, I mean, what do you think of that? And what did you think of what he did? I sit here and I kind of take my hat off for him, because I feel like it's something different. When everybody wanted to go one direction, here's a guy who's happy, who's content with everything that he's been achieving over the last few months, years actually. So yeah, I take my hat off to Wiaan, and he'll get more opportunities, I think. Maybe not to make that amount of runs, but definitely I think to get another double century against a big team, yeah, 100%.